Good afternoon, everyone. It is 4:01 p.m. and it is time to call to order our special meeting for Wednesday, December the 13th, 2023. Debbie, the roll call?
Yes. Recognition of visitors and public comments. This item is provided to allow for the public the opportunity to bring items to the attention of the Pasco Public Facilities District Board or to express an opinion on an issue. Its purpose is not for a venue for debate or for posing questions with the expectation of immediate response. Some questions require consideration by the board over time and after a deliberative process with input from a number of different sources. Some questions are best directed to staff members who have access to specific information. Public comments are normally limited to 3 minutes per each speaker. Those with lengthy messages are invited to summarize their comments and or submit written information for consideration by the PPFD board outside of formal meetings. Thank you.
So then, Debbie, you may be following my lead on how to run meetings, but yes.
Oh, so sorry. It's been a day. Thank you.
And we're not done yet, are we?
Oh, no. Darn it. All right. Carolyn Bowdish. Here. Leonard Dietrich.
Yes.
Marie Gillespie. Here. Spencer Gillette.
Here.
Mark Morissette.
Here.
Thank you.
So good afternoon and welcome to the Pasco Public Facilities District Board meeting. Agenda packets are available on the City of Pasco's website at www.pasco-wa.gov under the Public Facilities District Board webpage. This meeting is also being televised live on PSC TV Channel 191 on Spectrum Cable in Pasco and Richland, and is streamlined on the city's Facebook page, website, YouTube channel, and Microsoft Teams. Lastly, the public may submit their comments and or questions by contacting the Pasco Public Facilities District Executive Director or the Pasco City Clerk.
And Mr. Morissette, I've not received any questions or comments. I do look out. We do have a house full of people this evening, but I believe they're going to be here related to an item on the agenda. And but you might just call just to make sure in case there is any other visitors present.
So very good. So is there anybody else is there anybody else going to be speaking at this time? They're all going to wait for, okay, perfect. Agenda item number 3, approval of minutes. So if someone would please read the motion.
I move to approve the PPFD board minutes from the November 21st, 2023 meeting.
Second.
So it has been moved and seconded to approve the Pasco Public Facilities District Board meeting minutes from November 21, 2023 meeting. Is there any further discussion or any discussion period? Hearing none, then we'll go ahead and vote on the motion. All in favor of approving the minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
And if there are any opposed, say no. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item number 4, old business. Resolution 2023-14, approval of the 2024 Pasco Public Facilities District budget. Would someone please make the motion? Spence, you're pretty good at it.
I was thinking we were going to discuss it first.
You got to put it on the table.
We got it.
Okay. I move to approve resolution number 2023-14, approving the 2024 Pasco Public Facilities District budget.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. So it has been moved and seconded to approve the approve resolution number 2023-14, approving the 2024 Pasco Public Facilities District budget. So at this time we'll have discussion. Is there any discussion? Darcy, is there anything you would like to add at this time?
Nothing substantial, just that if you have questions, I have some information that I think would help me answer those questions of, what type of expenses are in what expense categories. But right now it's just based on what has happened this year and the things that we anticipate to happen in the coming year. I'm just being prepared for 2024.
Very good. And I believe, I looked, and it looks at this as the same as the one you gave us the previous board meeting.
Correct.
So,
Yes, no changes.
okay.
Thank you.
So hearing no discussion, we'll go ahead and call for the question. Then all those in favor of the motion to pass resolution number 2023-14, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. The motion carries. New business, agenda item number 5. Approval of design build award to Boughton Construction, NAC. So at this point, do we want to have a presentation, or do you want us to go right into the vote, into the motion to then have the discussion?
I'd request that Heath Gardner lead the
Okay.
discussion on this.
Go ahead, Heath.
Okay, I'll do a little bit of speaking for the Design and Construction Committee, and mostly, well, actually, as part of the selection team. So we served as advisors to the selection team, the Winner Group, as your owner's rep. Their selection team was created, as you know. They reviewed the RFQs. You were notified in this body on the finalists that were chosen on that. Since then, the RFP process was engaged in, which is the part where they come back to us with, where the finalists come back to us with specific content that was specifically requested, that's very project specific, and give us their project plans. We engaged in proprietary meetings with them, and those are private meetings with each of the finalists, where they were instructed to treat it as a kickoff meeting, as if they had the job. Each finalist was instructed to do that. We had meetings with them where we could get insight on how they operate and how they're thinking about the project and what their plan for the project was. And all this is contained. I won't follow through everything, but all this is contained in this process and recommendation that you have attached to your stuff. So in the end, those scores were all compiled, and the highest ranking firm was Boughton NAC. So it's Boughton Construction Company. They're teamed with NAC Architecture, and they presented as a design build team, so they are the highest ranked firm according to the selection committee. And in the end, the selection committee is recommending, they've concluded their efforts, and they are recommending to the board that a contract for Progressive Design Builder be awarded to Boughton NAC. And just if I may speak for the selection committee, obviously we're just advisors to them, but Boughton really stood apart in the process. By the end of the process, they had distinguished themselves. Current and past experience with projects of similar scope and size. They've done many aquatic facilities between the two of them, with that are very similar to what's planned here. They demonstrated understanding of our project goals and challenges, and they had well presented ideas on how to exceed those goals. That they have a strong presence in our local community. This is being served out of their office in Richland. They had a clear and practical approach to managing the budget and taking care of the public funds, and a thoughtful plan for managing community and stakeholder engagement. And they demonstrated a plan for creating a truly integrated project team and engaging stakeholders. So those were some of the things that were that distinguished them in the process. And I think the whole team is very well pleased in this selection and happy with the selection. So what is before you is a motion to to accept the recommendation of the selection committee and to authorize executive director to negotiate and sign the design build agreement. So the design build agreement covers the entire project. It will be the cost parts of that contract will be in pieces and phases. So this initial signing of the contract will include the costs for the validation phase and phase one services of that contract. So that's where they will be helping us to validate the scope of the project in comparison to our budget, make sure that we have enough budget that's a viable project that we can buy what we think we can buy, and do preliminary design, and start engaging the community on amenities and things so that we can get there. And the idea is that that's all leading towards a guaranteed maximum price for the construction part. And when we get to that point where we have a guaranteed maximum price that we've negotiated, that guaranteed maximum price will need to come back to the board for approval before we move forward with construction. So that's a little bit of a recap of the procurement process. The procurement process is all done in accordance with RCW state laws and regulations, which pertain to PFDs, but also pertain specifically to the alternative project delivery that you all authorized. Questions about that? Any questions?
And while you're thinking about questions, maybe I'll just add a little bit more context too, because the PFD's choice to have an owner's representative earlier this year, I think, is paying dividends in that they're specialists who have gone through this process. And for the board to choose the design build process as an alternative to the traditional design bid build, I think you're seeing an example tonight of where as we enter into an agreement, that kicks off the process for designing and building it concurrently. And as Heath mentioned too, this will be a phased process. So what you see is an initial agreement, and you'll expect then to see amendments, and those will be points along the way that the board will be involved to make decisions to move forward. The guaranteed maximum price being an extra critical one of those points. This is a model that City of Pasco as a partners, and I think it's important to highlight the membership of that selection committee, including critically 2 members of the board, Ms. Gillespie and Ms. Gillette, I think did a wonderful job being incredibly involved in this process to be able to bring this recommendation to the full board this evening. It included myself as well as Steve Orley from the Public Works Department, Winaha staff, as well as bond attorney, which you also chose, Robin Thaxton, who happens to be a teacher of the design build process. And has been very helpful, and that will continue to be helpful as also as a special counsel for this. Also, I think Eric's also been involved with this as well, and I think I'm covering some of the critical players here, but I can't undervalue the help of having the owner's representative through this complex process, and also backstopping us through moral support and technical experience, City of Pasco's Public Works Department. This is a very important decision. I think the single most important decision you have as a board tonight, and hopefully we've presented you what I remember through the process is all of the designer builders choices were good. There were 3 that were excellent, and tonight it's the best of the best that we're recommending to you as a board, Mountain Construction and NAC. And the folks you see in the group were people involved in that. And so I just wanted to add some of those details, and also either questions or if Ms. Gillespie, who was very important, or Mr. Gillette were in the process, have any thoughts too on background. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, Matt, it's really hard to follow that.
That's good.
It's very eloquent, very well said. I am just pleased, very, very, very pleased with the process that we went through to get to this point and with our selection. And I am excited. I cannot wait to get started. This project is going to be fantastic, and the community and the region is going to benefit tremendously. So, congratulations.
So we haven't voted quite yet, but
We thought we'd wait and see if you approved it before we let them introduce themselves, but we will let them introduce themselves,
Well, congratulations to the Design Build Committee for making the selection then.
for sure.
Very good.
No, I would like to echo that it's such a big deal to get to this point, and it's so much effort has been expended over the years by this body and everybody that's been involved, and it's awesome to be part of it, and awesome to be part of just kind of as your owner's rep. It's a big victory for us too to be able to help get to this point, and we've only been involved a short time compared to everybody else. So just an awesome moment.
so then either Eric or Matt, would you talk to us a little bit about the contracting process? Go ahead, Eric.
Sure. Yeah, I think probably Heath and Matt can really talk a little bit more about the specifics of the contracting process. The only thing with regard to the legal steps that we're taking today that I just want to kind of call your attention to is I've gone back and forth with both Heath and Matt and trying to figure out the statute 3910, the alternative process for going through this, talks about how you go in these steps, and one of them is that the committee, you put together a committee, the committee selects folks. Then once that choice is made, then they negotiate, and then if the body can't come to a conclusion with that, then they move to the next one, kind of thing. So it's very linear, very chronological in that steps. But based on the recent education that I've received from Heath and others about this, it is kind of it's not a complete done process in terms of the negotiation. So what's taken place up to this point from a legal perspective is that negotiations have got to the point where there's essentially an offer on the table that the board needs to determine whether that's what they're going to accept based on what they've got. But that will also continue. There's going to be some further negotiations that take place with regard to some of the contract points moving forward. One of the things you'd be doing tonight is delegating that authority to the executive director to finalize those. It doesn't sound like it's going to be anything that we're going to be, and Heath can talk about some of the little nuances that need to get finalized with that. But then there'll be another round, as Heath just mentioned earlier. There'll be another round because of I think it's because of the progressive nature of this that it turns. That's why we end up coming back to you with the GMP, the guaranteed maximum price component. So it's not this perfect little tied up thing that's all done. This is just essentially the first step in getting this getting through this validation period. So based on what I understand from Heath, so please correct any.
Yeah, no, that's all correct, and I think the important thing to note is there are off ramps, they call them, built into the design build process. So that's why we'll be back to you when it comes time to agree to a GMP. And given the progressive nature of it, and given the opportunity to capitalize on early procurements and things, that could be phased also, just as a heads up. Like we could ask for a preliminary GMP to enable the design builder to procure some long lead items if we determine that that's necessary, things like that. But we will be back to approve a GMP before the board will approve any movement into actual construction work and any commitment to the fullness of the construction contract. And the reason for that is because there's off ramps built in. Theoretically, if we can't arrive at a GMP that works for our budget or whatever, there's an off ramp to terminate the contract and move in a different direction. So that's just the legal part of it.
From the legal standpoint, negotiating standpoint, who will be the negotiating parties from the city's perspective or from our perspective?
So it'll be Matt, and then us as your owner's rep, and then Robin Thaxton is the outside counsel that you all selected to handle the contracts. So she will be reviewing all contracts and all agreements and making recommendations on that as well. So.
Okay, thank you.
So the progress, then the legal progress, that will come back through an executive director's report to us? Or how are we going to be kept in the know of that those steps?
Yes, I think it's going to be both, actually. There's going to be working with the owner's representative and Robin through the DBIA process with the designer builder for those details. And then I'm going to be checking in with board, probably either weekly reports, or if it involves specific action by the board, it'll become by that way, and then also reports at those monthly meetings. So it'll be a combination of all of those.
So then Eric, excuse me, Eric, because you're here, then you'll be a part of this process also along with Robin?
So, not in that particular phase of it. No, she really does focus on the contract issues. I mean, these are some pretty hefty documents that get gone through with some specialized knowledge. So she'll really be focusing on that. Where I'm coming in, I appreciate the question, is when we're moving forward and how that process interacts with what we have to do as a board to move forward, and kind of those checkpoints we have to go through to be able to then to have Darcy go find us our money. So that's the most important part.
And she'll find it. Okay. Is this the right time for some Boughton folks to address the board, say hi or at least, or no?
Well, I would suggest, actually, if all your technical questions have been answered and you'd want to make a vote, I'd suggest doing that, and then assuming it's an affirmative vote, I think that would be probably the best time to invite the award recipients.
All right, very good. Are there any other questions the board has at this point? Okay, hearing none, then if some would go ahead and make the motion to approve resolution number 2023-15.
I would like to make that motion. I move to approve resolution number 2023-15, approving the agreement with Boughton Construction Company /NAC to perform design build services for the aquatic facility and competition pool project, and further authorize the PPFD executive director to execute the contract documents.
Is there a second?
Second.
So it's been seconded more than once. So is there any further discussion? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, then we'll go ahead and call for the question. So all in favor of motion, resolution number 2023-15, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. So the motion carries. So congratulations. Next item, we're not gonna have an executive session. Is there anything planned for?
No, but if you wanted to, you now have a design builder on board, and if you'd like to meet Brandon Potts and his team, I'm sure that he would like to speak and introduce them.
Okay,
There we go.
there, it's working.
So yeah, Brandon Potts, Vice President for Boughton Construction Company.
Keith Combs with NAC Architecture.
So yeah, in a way, it almost feels like we've been part of this team for a while, just following the project. And first off, congratulations. We know this is a huge milestone for the facility district and for the city and our community at large. Just could not be happier to be part of the team, just happier as a design builder, happier as a contractor, as a resident of the community. And I think I was telling our design partner, in the 25 years I've been doing this, I don't think my kids have ever been happier for a project that we've won. So we're just completely excited to be part of the team. Can't wait to get started. So, Keith?
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you very much. We recognize how important this project is to the PPFD and to the community. It's an important project to us, to our company NAC, and to our team, the Boughton NAC team. We're not going to take this lightly. You are getting our full attention. We work on a variety of projects. We think aquatic recreation projects are the most fun. These are the projects that we love. We're going to love working with you, and we're looking forward to having that fun with you on this project. So thank you.
I've got a number of our team members here tonight, and yeah, they're all excited to get started. So thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, you're welcome. Yes, for some of us, this goes back to 2002. So, yes, working on this a long time. We're glad and happy to see it get to this point.
Mr. Morissette, if it would be appropriate to a couple more thoughts and suggestions before you conclude the meeting.
Go ahead.
I will make sure and get a copy of a PDF file that the selection team used to review Boughton to the other board members so that you can see the attention to detail this organization placed, and you'll get a sense of them and their response. Also, I know that Heath and Winaha Group is also, I believe, buying some pizza, and anybody who would like to stick around after the meeting, we'll have pizza, and I believe Boughton folks will be available. We're going to have it in another room because this room will be used by another meeting after us. But if any board members would like to do that, of course, we would not be able to talk about business in any way, but I think it's reasonable to be able to get to know one of your design builders.
Thank you, Matt. I wanted to mention that I wasn't sure when it was appropriate, but we wanted to invite everybody. This is a big accomplishment for everybody in this room. We just want to start celebrating these things together. So if you have a few minutes and you can have a piece of pizza and meet the team, that'd be great. Everyone in this room is invited.
And finally, while it's a special meeting and we have a limited agenda, I just wanted to give a couple thoughts, a little bit larger perspective, kind of a year in review of the things that you and this group has accomplished in the past year. To choose a design or to choose an owner's representative in May, to choose a piece of property, which, by the way, I'll be glad to report here in the coming weeks that we'll be getting very close to. I believe we'll be able to do purchase and sales agreement here in the next month or possibly two. Some technical issues have been cleared off that way. To have a bonding team gathered, including an underwriter, also a municipal representative was chosen on Monday, and also special counsel for that process that will be going on in 2024. For the deepening of a relationship with the city of Pasco, via especially the finance department, Jesse and his assistants, and the public works department, Mr. Worley and his group, I think have been a great benefit to the PFD. And there's been a lot of groundwork laid, and the decision tonight, I think, is going to represent a shift from laying groundwork to getting a lot done. And to have it come at the end of 2023, I would then also expect a very busy 2024. And then also you're choosing an ambassador committee, which will engage. I think the public is going to see a lot of the product of the work that you all have done in the past year and a half. And I'm also excited about an aquatics facility being built as well. So I just wanted to kind of provide that as a little bit of color and perspective.
Well, we look forward to what's coming next, and Jesse, we're really looking forward to that mascot. Thank you. Okay, then if there is no other business to come before the board, then we can go ahead and adjourn at 4:29.